Stafford must have known.
You carry a rifle? What sort of rifle?
Hammond.
Hammond? A Hammond rifle?
In fact, the regiment had just been issued with Minier rifles. There was a Hammond rifle, but the army didn't even test it until more than 10 years later. But his description of a drum captured from the Russians was uncannily close.
Did you capture any drums? Have you seen them?
Side drums.
Side drums, were they? What were they like? Like our own?
Gold or brassy sort of ornament on them. That's like on churches. Sort of animal head.
It's the 20th of September, 1854. Now, what's going on around you? What are you doing?
We're encamped on hills above Alma.
Above the Alma?
Aye.
What's the Alma?
Alma is Alma River.
And where is the Alma from where you are at this very moment?
It's down below.
The Alma River was the scene of one of the most ferocious battles of the Crimean War. Bryant's description of crossing the river is so vivid, it's hard to believe he isn't there. Major Farron wrote home, "The heavy guns of the enemy were placed on the high ground beyond the river, and the moment we came within range, he fired away round shot, grape and shells which rattled like a storm of hailstones."
You're crossing the Alma with your regiment. What's going on?
We're coming under fire.
From where?
From hills.
Where are the hills?
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hills up front.
Rest, go to sleep. Go to sleep. What was it like crossing the river?
Yeah, horrible. There a lot of shrapnel all about.
What was the crossing like? Was it deep?
Waist. Up above waist. And cold. Cold.
What's the ground like on your way up the hill at the other side, where you are now?
Sand and mud. And it can't get the grip hardly.
Farron wrote, "The river is a difficult one for troops to ford under fire. The banks were steep and precipitous and slippery with mud." Bryant's exactly right about the mud. It's an extraordinary performance. And yet he's got many simple facts wrong. So do regressions really provide evidence for reincarnation?
The key to these regressions may have been discovered as long ago as 1906. Under hypnosis, a woman recalled intimate details of a past life as a medieval lady, Blanche Poynings, a close friend of Maud, Countess of Salisbury. However, the case was blown when she was re-hypnotized and asked where she'd obtained the information. She answered, from a book, Countess Maud, by Emily Holt. And here it is. The closing pages are an historical appendix about Blanche Poynings, born before 1349. It turned out that she'd read this book many years before, and although she'd completely forgotten it, the facts had lodged themselves in her subconscious mind. Under hypnosis, not only did she recall the plot, she wrote herself into the script. This amazing ability of the human mind to remember, yet to forget that it is remembering, is called cryptomnesia. These secret memories, when triggered by hypnosis, can sometimes be so vivid that they're mistaken for reality.
A remarkable case of cryptomnesia was shown by a Finnish teenager in the 1960s.
Raukea väsymys joka paikassa.
Lisa spoke no English then, but when Dr. Reimer Kampmann regressed her, she described life as an innkeeper's daughter in medieval Norfolk and suddenly burst into song in English.
Summer is a common and loud sing cuckoo. Grow as seed and blow as mead and sing as road along. Sing cuckoo.
But how had she learned an English song? Campman hypnotized her again and asked her. She said from a book, The Story of Music. She'd seen it in the library. One glance at this page and this old English song, foreign words, music and all, were imprinted on her mind. Since then, she has learned English and a distrust of hypnotic regression.
I think it is nonsense. And if we think these personalities, I have had many, it's not a question of reincarnation. It's just productive imagination. That's my opinion.
We're all bombarded with masses of information from radio, TV, movies, books. People who claim to have lived past lives may have unconsciously absorbed the facts and stored them somewhere in the recesses of their minds. What these stories of reincarnation do prove is that our brains have a truly amazing ability to store huge blocks of information and to reproduce them with complete accuracy. This seems to me almost as amazing and as improbable as reincarnation itself. And just in case you do live again, you can be sure of an invitation to come as you were to the Los Angeles reincarnation party.
Her Majesty, Queen Isabella of Spain. I find about 10% of my patients have brought some garbage with them from a past life that does not respond to age regression in this life by taking the person all the way back to the womb, searching for the original episode, and they still have the emotional problem. Then there's only one place to go to, and that's to a past life, and there I find it. Case history after case history. There is something to this.
After the break, what purpose is there to produce a European fighter aircraft for the next century in Azimuth?